Welcome to my home. I'm Debbie Daly of Fire Swan Energies, a holistic practice that specializes in Reiki and so much more. To make an appointment with me, you can call me on 705-341-5673. Thank you so much. Tonight I'm going to share another one of my ghost experiences with you. This one is very recent. I've moved into my house going on 6 years now, and the very first year, in the beginning of like the first couple of months, we never felt comfortable in our basement. We've renovated it. On the one side there's a living room and a bar area, and on the other side there's a laundry room and a workshop. And every time we would go down on the other side where the workshop and the laundry room were, you never felt alone. You always felt like somebody was there with you, or you felt like you were being watched. It was very uncomfortable. So we've had numerous experiences now all over our house, although it did start in the basement. And we've been here almost going on our 6th year. So to start from the beginning, let me just think of the first stories I can share. My daughter one night was down in the laundry room doing laundry, and she was taking clothes out of the dryer and hanging them up on this clothesline that we have to dry. And as she turned around to hang a blouse, she saw a black shadow come through the doorway and deep down to hide and kind of go into the workshop room. She freaked. She screamed. I went down. She was hysterical. It scared the crap out of her. And since then, we've had a ton of things happen throughout the 6 years. We'd be down in the living room, all of us watching TV, and our dog would go ballistic. He'd start growling and freaking out at something that we couldn't see. And it was always in the same kind of area. As you come down our basement, at the basement bottom at the bottom of the stairs, right in between the two areas. And so it was always uncomfortable because you were wondering what the heck he was seeing. Then it kind of escalated, and you'd see shadowy figures as we were watching TV, kind of in the bottom of the stair area between going to the laundry room and where we were sitting. And it was just more frequent and more frequent. I'm trying to think what would be the next thing. My daughter was in her bedroom one night, and she was sleeping, and she had one of her legs sticking out of her blanket, and she felt a hand grab her foot. She screamed so loud. I came running from upstairs, downstairs to her room. She was freaked right out. She said that she could feel the top fingers on the top of her foot and the thumb on the bottom of her foot. That was it. I had to sleep with her the rest of the night. Neither of us slept the whole night. One night, I was in the kitchen doing paperwork, and it was around 12:30 p.m. And I got the sense that somebody was sneaking up on me. And I was sure it was my boyfriend. So I sat there and I waited till he got closer and closer and closer. And I whipped around like, wah! And there was no one there. That freaked me out because I was sure that it was him. Another night as well, I was in my kitchen doing paperwork again, and it was around 1:30 a.m. And I heard this breathing, and it was like very labored breathing, like somebody with really bad asthma or trying to catch their breath. And I thought for sure again it was my boyfriend playing tricks on me. And it sounded like it was coming from the other side of the fridge. So I waited, and I got up and I went around, and there was no one there. And I went upstairs, and my boyfriend was in bed. So that was it for me. I couldn't do any more paperwork. I packed everything up and went upstairs. So as you can see, throughout the time I've been here, it just keeps getting more escalating, more escalating. Recently, I went down to our basement to make a couple of drinks, and I walked around the back of our bar to get some glasses and some booze to make a drink. And as I walked by around the bar, I heard this whisper in my ear, and I've heard this a few times now. It's like they're whispering in my ear, but I can't make out what they're saying. So the hair stood up my neck and my heart raced, and I knew that this person, we think it's a man, was in the room with me. So as I was making the drinks, I thought, oh no, I forgot the ice. So I went back around the bar to go into the laundry room to get the ice out of the freezer, and just as I was going to go through the swing doors to the laundry room to get ice, I felt a knock on my back, in the middle of my back. So I whipped around, and I had a big basket of pine cones on a speaker. So the speaker was like probably 4 feet high, and a big basket of pine cones. And one of the pine cones was on the floor. So it had thrown a pine cone at my back. So I picked up the pine cone, and I just went, really? You got to throw something at me to get my attention? Seriously? You got my attention, what do you want? And I got nothing. And there's nothing worse than being nudged by something or touched by something, and you confront it and get nothing back. I don't like that at all. So the next couple of nights, I'd gone down with my friends, and we had, asked questions, and we actually set up a camera on my bar, and we've got some pretty cool video to share with you in a while. You can actually see my boyfriend and myself and my 3 dogs going up the stairs, and you see something go by the camera. And then a half an hour after that, you see one of my dogs come down the stairs looking down in the basement, and you see go by the camera again. It's crazy. We've also, I was down there one day asking questions, and I'm not a very technical person, and those who know me know that I'm not very technical, and I'm not lying about that. And I'd asked a bunch of questions, and I didn't have my recorder on. So I didn't get anything, obviously. So then I thought, I'll just put my phone down on the bar and have it on record and just see what happens. And I got this male voice, and I think it's saying Bob. So we call this entity Bob now. So we've lived with Bob now for 6 years. And it's not, I don't feel it's demonic. I just feel, you never feel alone for sure. But it's kind of getting to the point now where it's really uncomfortable. I was in the shower one night, and I heard the whispering again, and I thought it was my boyfriend. I pulled back the curtain, and there was no one there. That freaks me out. I don't like the touchy-feely. I don't want to acknowledge you and then you say nothing back. You're very well aware I know you're there, and I don't like when you don't tell me who you are. So it got to the point that we're all uncomfortable now, and you can't be uncomfortable in your own home. And even though I do a lot of work with spirit, and I'm more comfortable probably than a lot of people because it's been a part of my life for so long, it's still unnerving, and when people are afraid to be in your home, that's not good. So we did a cleansing, and I gotta say, I think the Bob is finally gone. It does feel lighter, not that it felt demonic like I said before. It was nothing like that. We didn't have poltergeist or anything like that. It was just an uncomfortable feeling. Now, because I do Reiki and energy work in my house, from my house, it's quite possible that it might have come through that, but I seem to recall we felt it right away when we moved here. And I did do some research, and the owner of the home that I purchased did pass away not too long after I bought the house. I don't think it's him, but I don't know. Nothing seems to make sense of who this Bob is. So anyway, I look forward to sharing with you my videos when we can get that put on. And thank you very much for your time. Good night.